And it's raining. Light drizzle, every now and then a little bit of a heavier downpour. Awesome. I love it when it rains, and the plants love it even more. So all kinds of things starting to grow. In here. Some beetroot. These cabbages that were looking, I don't know if they're cabbage, could be Brussels sprouts actually, that were looking quite dead, have suddenly revived. And there's more over here. Excellent. You can see the fan is still going well in here. Actually, it's good for the airflow. I'm going to put the hay, or the straw, should I say, in the little house over here, but I've got very nosy pigs all coming to check it out. Because your babies are coming very soon, I can see. Let's give you some hay. The thing with Cocoa Pop is that you always put in and then she takes out. Don't you, Cocoa Pop? Oh, but mind my feet. No, not my toes. Not my toes. Come on, let me get back in here. Come on. You're such a good girl, aren't you? But leave my feet alone. This all out, Cocoa Pop. We're getting ready for your babies. Yeah, she's inspecting. She'll move things around. Knowing Cocoa Pop, she'll probably move everything out, and then just before she has the baby, she'll move everything back in again. So I did put all the poop into 2 big piles, but I don't know, it got so busy here, I never got to put them into the wheelbarrows, and the pigs have managed to spread it all out again. So my bad. I now have to rake it all up again. Martin's last day at Bella Pedra, and this man never stops. He is a role model for other young men out there. So the floor is going down now. I got these, what was the pattern? Walnut, I think, is the wood. Walnut tiles that look like wood, to go with the whole rustic feel of the kitchen. So Martin says the hardest part with the flooring is getting the first line going, and then afterwards it's going to be plain sailing.
Wow. Yeah, that's the idea. Just got to try and get it level and square and then work off of that.
See how he uses the rubber mallet just to sort of like get it down level. We got the spirit level all handy there to make sure that everything is square. Perfect. Okay,
lovely.
Excellent.
Done something right.
You always do something right, Martin. Remember, if you haven't subscribed yet to Martin's channel, it's From Kent to Portugal. Steve is hard at work on the mystery door project. We all anticipating what it's going to look like when it's done. No pressure, Steve. He just grunted. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Right, so the beading's going to go on the door, and then the next part is going to be to cut out the window, and then it's going to have insulation going on. So this door will no longer look like a metal door by the time Steve is finished. Isn't that so, Steve?
Oh yeah.
So what do you think?
Well, I'm going to cut it out for the window, and because of this profile it's a bit unlevel, so we're tightening it into the wood as good as we can, and then I'll cork it, and then jobs are good. And on the inside we'll have probably tongue and groove, and that'll go straight on the other one.
Oh, brilliant.
So jobs are good.
Excellent. Mellow Puff. Yes, how you doing? Her eye is so good. I tell you something, that Rooibos, good as new, you can't even see she had an infection in that eye. That Rooibos tea was brilliant. Yes, Mellow Puff. The thing with the Kuni pigs, they just love being scratched. Hey. Don't you love being scratched? And this one, are we just getting fatter, or we don't know. If she hasn't had babies by if Cheesecake hasn't had her babies by the 10th of October, that's the last date. If she was mated, because that's from when Oreo was breaking out and going into her pen. Then she's just a very, very fat pig. But Cocoa Pop is definitely pregnant. Very close. As you can see, yeah, the vulva is swelling at the back there. Even in this pig pen, watermelons are coming up wherever they've pooped. So I haven't had to buy watermelon seeds. The pigs are growing them for me. What are you pigs doing? With tripods, malapuff, what you doing? All of you. Oh my goodness. All three of you. Leave that. It's not edible. Coco Pop is working on house cleaning over here. She's rearranging the straw. Martin's doing an exceptional job. Absolutely cracking it. Oh, so you put the stuff under the tile as well as on the ground?
Yeah, it's called back buttering. Yeah, in the UK it's called back buttering. It just means that there's like when you put it down, there'll be like a suction, and it's almost like a vacuum for the tile.
Mm-hmm.
So then when you bed it down, you know you've got a nice bed underneath it, and you haven't got that hollow noise.
Chicken man! Just looking under this oak tree, something is definitely living here. Don't know what. So I'm here at the entrance of the farm, marking trees that Steve is going to take down. So all pine trees are going to be going, so they're going to get marked with the blue paint, because the can of spray paint I bought doesn't have a nozzle on it. A pine cone eater. She loves pine cones. Okay, so this is amazing. So Martin is getting this started and he's doing all the difficult bits, and then when he goes, because he leaves tomorrow, I'll then be able to carry on with it, because he's done the hard graft. Yeah, no, I think this looks really nice.
Not bad for a few hours.
No, definitely not. Looks good. And then we'll take these red clips out tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And then can use again. So then I think the tricky bit is going to be this part down here, eh?
Hopefully it should be alright now, because I can just join on to what I've already done.
Yeah.
So the tricky stuff should be done now. It's just trying to make it as square as possible without leaving too much of a gap along this granite wall.
Yeah.
But it seems to be alright. I think by the time you grout it, you won't ever know.
Yeah. Right, going to try out the new barbecue that was put, yeah, but hadn't been tried yet.
If you're going to be able to do it with your hands.
Okay, so you need a pair of pliers, and then what do you do with the pliers? You
You should just be able to grip them and pull them, and they should come off. We'll go through it before. I should be able to take them off before I go. But yeah, you should just be able to grab them and bend them off, and they will just
snap off.
Yep, and then any little bits of sort of dry adhesive will just come up. I usually use one of these plastic things and just
Scrape it off. Scrape it off.
Yeah.
Okay, so the red things are reusable, but these.
Yeah. So once they snap.
Yeah.
Obviously, your idea is to snap this bit off, so
yeah.
then you're just left with the tab. I don't think. Like this. So you've got the tab. Both the tiles go underneath, and then you wiggle it, and it'll snap off, and then that stays in the tile.
Okay.
And then this bit gets disposed of.
Perfect. So I usually buy the pig nuts. This time, besides the pig nuts, I also bought the grain that is not in nut form, because I want to ferment this. So every now and then I like to sort of give the pigs something a little different, and I think if I make fermented grain, it might be easier to mix in the deworming meds, because you've got to give them the deworming meds for 7 days. So they had 3 days of it, so I think it's now going to be with some fermented grain. So what I'll do is I'm going to put this in the wheelbarrow now, take it down to the shed, and I'm going to pour some of this into one of the green bins that I have, and then I add water to it, and then I let it swell up, and in a day or two it'll be ready to give the pigs to eat as fermented feed. So you can see from the consistency, this is pig nuts in grain form. That's it. They haven't been formed into the pig nuts yet. So I've more or less half filled this bin, and I'm going to add water to it now. And then I just cover it up, and you leave it, as I say, for a couple of days. Okay, I've added in water. Now you're just going to sort of mix it all in. Make sure you get the layer at the bottom as well, and then I leave it, and this will swell up and ferment, and it's good for their digestion. So it's good to give this every now and then. Last night there was 90% chance of rain today. This morning I checked and it's only 50%. So, not sure we'll get rain. We do need more rain. So it's all mixed in. I leave this and I'll check it this evening. I might, because it'll start to swell, so I might add more water into it and then mix it again.
Yeah.
Most things I have a mini, like a mini spirit level, mini pliers.
Get the job done.
So you grip it, and you give it like a little twist.
No, just a little lift up, and it just snaps it, and it just leaves it nice and clean. So like they've got like a little pinchy bit underneath.
Yeah.
And I just clip it on the pinchy bit.
Yeah.
And then just lift it a little bit. Oh, that one didn't break very well. I don't want to do that one again. Oh, that one comes straight out. That.
Yeah.
But just clip and lift.
So if there's like a little piece like that, I'll just cut that off with a craft knife.
Yeah. Yeah, just get a Stanley blade and just try and cut it off as low down as you can.
Yeah.
And then when you grout it, obviously
it'll disappear.
Yeah. It's typical. The first one that I do on like that, and it breaks. All the other ones come off lovely. They just come off really easy.
Murphy's Law. So, Martin, what was your biggest surprise about Portugal? So you would have had certain expectations before you came here.
Yep.
So what was something that surprised you the most?
In Portugal in general, I think just the friendliness of everyone, and that I'm not so much of an alien. People do speak English. I panicked a lot and thought I wouldn't be able to communicate, but if you sort of try a little bit, sometimes they can just come out with English and it makes your life a lot easier. I think that was the biggest thing for me, just how friendly people were.
And what would you say is the biggest challenge that you found over here with the off-grid lifestyle? What do you think is the biggest challenge?
I think I definitely took for granted sort of my creature comforts at home, like a warm shower every day and all the little gadgets that I have that make my life a little bit easier. Out here you don't sort of, you have your phone, you have your internet and stuff, but it's still a small percentage of what you're used to at home. So yeah, getting accustomed to a change of lifestyle was definitely harder for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so would you recommend this off-grid lifestyle to
100%,
others?
definitely. Even if you just want it as like a workshop, and you just think, oh, I want to spend a couple of weeks doing something a little bit different, or you want to gain a little bit of experience, or you're just curious to see what it's like. Like, you don't have to just watch the videos. You can come out here and try it yourself, and it's more of a life experience than it is just a way of living, really, because you can come out here for 2 weeks, you can do a little bit of work, you can make new friends, try new food, and then you can go back to your normal life in whatever country you come from and say, oh, it's not a bit of me, but I enjoyed it while it lasted. But yeah, I definitely will come out again.
And so what would you say has been the highlight of your stay at Bella Pedra?
I think just the whole sort of social side of it, sort of like, we have dinner every night, breakfast every morning, sort of you've got the dogs and everyone's friendly and having a laugh. It's not just like turning up and going to work and it being a bit of a slog. So I think the best thing is just how well we've all sort of gelled together and sort of created a bit of a friendship, really. I think that's the most important thing for me anyway.
Yep. And so would you recommend volunteering at Bella Pedra?
100%. If you like your food and you want Cindy to cook you good dinners and you don't mind doing a little bit of hard work every now and again whilst having a beer in between, then I definitely would recommend.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you over here, Martin. I mean, you have helped get a lot of projects finished, and you've started on the floor that I'll be able to continue with that. So thank you so much, and anytime you want to pop by, you're always welcome.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
So when you clean off these tiles like Martin is doing, look how stunning it looks. Beautiful. So my wood shed is quite full, but I've got more than double this wood on the land that I still got to bring back here. Some more wood to be chopped up. So taking down quite a few of these eucalyptus trees. You can see others marked to go. They are a bit of a fire hazard on the property, but they do make fantastic cordwood. So as Steve has been taking them down, he's cutting them straight away into 50 centimeter lengths, so that I can start the drying process to get them ready for the next cordwood project, because I love working with cordwood, and yeah, this makes great cordwood. So preparing for the next lot. We're not taking down all the eucalyptus trees, and as you can see, they grow so quickly. This is already the growth from a stump of a tree that was taken down last year. It's like you cut them, they grow back faster. So there will always be eucalyptus here. We'll never get rid of it. But Mays will start getting cordwood ready for the next building project. We had quite a bit of rain today, but it's more that soft soaking rain. And you can see normal rain doesn't do anything on this road. It's only when we get that once a year biblical rain that the road is a problem. So this area here next to that other pig pen is what I want to fence in for my next pig pen. And this will be really lovely in summer because of all the shade from the oak trees, and at the moment they're just dropping acorns. Yeah, definitely time to start doing a bit of an acorn pick. Right after Tim Tam broke out of here twice today just by pushing the bottom part of the gate. While I've been working online, Steve has put this in far more secure. I had a spare bolt, so this should keep Tim Tam in. The others weren't interested in escaping. Of course, Tim Tam got out. There was a feed bucket out, and I didn't have my camera with me, but she put the head in the feed bucket and her head got stuck on her head, and she was going around in circles with this bucket on her head. So Steve is busy insulating this door at the moment. He's got all this fancy beading on and he's putting in insulation. So this is not going to just be a metal door anymore. It's going to be a door to end all doors, because Steve has made a window that's going to go in at the top, and it won't look like a metal door by the time he's done.